you, look at me, look at la la la. Might be the one. Did you hear that person yell outside?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. Hope everyone's alive.
Well,
there's no
we're
way
all
to
gonna
know.
die someday, so
True.
might as well be today for that person.
You know, sometimes people die. Happy 2018. Hi everybody and welcome back to Two Gay Matts. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And I guess just now.
Last night, it is still March 5th.
You know, I'm a bit under the weather. I'm sorry, my head's a little cloudy, but we just finished watching the Oscars, the Academy Awards, and it's Matt Steele's favorite day of the year.
It is. I should be talking first.
It's just my turn. I don't know what to tell you.
Get out of here. This is my video.
Well, how did you feel? What were the highlights, the lowlights? How did the Academy treat you this year?
The nomination announcement was more rough than the actual ceremony.
That's
because
good.
I thought this was a very good year for film. I enjoyed a lot. I thought it was a very eclectic year. But when the nominations were announced, the Florida Project wasn't nominated for Best Picture. That was my favorite movie of the year. And Hong Chow, as you all know, was my favorite performance of the year, and she was not nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
What's the Florida Project about?
It's about, I mean, it was only nominated for one award, so we really shouldn't be talking about it, but it's the best movie of 2017. It's basically about the people who live in the motels surrounding Disney World.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's sort of like a modern day Little Rascals. Like, it follows all the little kids. Mostly this one little girl living with her mother who, like, works as, like, a prostitute.
Oh, my.
It just sort of follows them getting into trouble, getting out of trouble.
And is this the same director that shot the whole movie on the iPhone? Did I?
Tangerine.
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Great. Sean Baker. Robbed of a nomination, Sean Baker for Best Director.
We believe in you, Sean.
We believe in you, Sean. We believe in you, Florida Project. We believe in Hong Chow. Unfortunately, the Academy didn't. But it's okay, because the ceremony happened tonight.
Yes.
And I thought it was a solid ceremony.
Yes.
Nothing horrible happened. Nothing as traumatic as last year's Best Picture
I thought that was great.
I still, to this day, have not
That's so
watched
weird
it again.
to me.
I can't watch it on YouTube. I can't.
Why?
Because it's too intense. Like,
but you know what's gonna happen, and you know that, like, and the people who won are good. Like, it's not like something bad happened.
And you know I love nothing more than a surprise at an awards ceremony.
Yes.
But I don't like it to happen like that. I like it to happen just a regular open the envelope, the person announcing goes, and then they announce a surprise. Yeah, so everything went according to plan at this ceremony, so I'm very grateful for that. But how'd you feel Jimmy Kimmel did the second time?
I thought he was pretty funny. Like, it wasn't like laugh out loud, like, you know, bust a gut. But I enjoyed him. I was like, yes, you're a likable guy, and he had some good like Me Too jokes at people's expense, and about Harvey Weinstein getting kicked out of the Academy and stuff, and which I enjoyed.
I liked the jet ski thing.
Yes.
I thought that was cute.
I don't think the going into the theater thing worked.
No, I think that whole sort of like, let's have regular people intermingle with the people, I feel like that's kind of been overdone. Thank God there was no food in the audience this year. Because, like, it was funny the first time, it was funny the second time, but then, like, every award ceremony started to do it, and it was like okay, calm down, I get it, we're real people, we eat, ha 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 ha. But, so I'm happy we didn't do that this year. Yeah, I thought the jet ski thing was funny. It wasn't overdone, but it was done just enough, so I thought that was super cute. Congratulations to that costume designer, I forgot his name, who won it.
I wonder if he really did. I'm sure there'll be follow-up pieces about it.
Oh, definitely.
I'd like to know.
That would be great.
I think he did. Like, my guess is that he did actually win.
If I was that costume designer and I did not win that jet ski, I would be pissed.
Yeah, like, you owe me a jet ski.
Like, I took time. I took time out of my goddamn speech.
I was really happy that Jordan Peele won for screenplay. I thought that was really exciting just to be able to see him get on stage, because I felt like in the awards, at least from what I heard from you, the awards leading up to the Academy Awards, Get Out was kind of getting shut out and like hadn't won a lot of them, and so to see him on stage and be able to accept this honor for such a great movie, I thought that was really lovely.
For literally the movie of the year.
Absolutely.
It was the movie of 2017.
Absolutely.
And it was the movie that everyone was kind of rooting for in some sort of way, whether you were hoping it won Best Picture or hoping it won something, you were just kind of rooting for it in general, because it's kind of like that weird movie that could. For such an interesting year, it was also kind of a weirdly predictable year in terms of what was winning awards, and Get Out defeating 3 Billboards for Best Original Screenplay was the big sort of shocker of the night, I would say. So it was nice that there was like a nice surprise and that it happened in Get Out's favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd you feel about the speeches?
They were fine. I don't think anything stuck out. Oh, I mean, obviously Frances McDormand had a moment, and I mean, she's clearly a nutty lady, but I really enjoyed her having all the women stand up, but it also was like, I was reading some Twitter, I think Crystal said it was like, there were fewer ladies standing up than I kind of
anticipated. When they all stood up, I was kind of like, oh, Oh, there's really no
There's
one.
really not alive.
It's crazy.
And it's like, I remember when I was first at NYU, and we were at the Tisch Hall and like the Welcome Week thing, and it was like, everyone stand up from your studio, everyone stand up from your studio, and I was in a program of 24 people, and it was like, everyone stand up for recorded music, and that's what it looked like. It just looked like 5 people per section. It's like, whoa, here we all are.
Yes, I am that one. You'll never see me again.
And right, but those were all the women that were, and it was just like, woof.
Yeah, woof. Like, guys, inclusion rider, as Frances McDormand said. I mean, she's crazy, but she's right.
Yes!
It's my dream to one day win an Oscar and just make a speech crazier than that.
Oh, please
just
don't.
To have my hair be messed up.
Just keep it normal.
Put the Oscar on the ground, pat it on the head, and be like, everyone stand up.
I really hated The Shape of Water. I think it's like, I just like had a visceral, like, no reaction to the entire film. So that winning Best Picture was surprising to me.
When it won, you were just like,
I was like, what? That one? The one where she's like fucking a fish? Like, pass.
I don't understand why people hate Shape of Water so much.
I just think,
like, I think it's nice. Like, I
don't get it. Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around, like, why am I rooting for this fish person and this lady? Why am I rooting for them to get together?
They're both, you know, like rejects. They both have no one.
But like, one of them's a human.
I mean, yeah.
And the other one's not.
It's kind of human. He stands and he can do sign language.
Oh,
so that's kind of like a gorilla, but a fish and a man.
I didn't like him.
It wasn't really a surprise to me. The Shape of Water is the first movie since Braveheart 1995 that won Best Picture without having a SAG nomination for Best Ensemble. So like that was kind of the only box that The Shape of Water didn't check. But every other box The Shape of Water kind of checked. Like it had the most below the line nominations for like editing, production design, like all the design tech things. So it appealed to the most branches of the Academy. And especially because of the preferential ballot voting, I feel like it sort of had the most balance of people who enjoyed it enough. So I feel like that's like why it found so much success. And yeah, I'm fine with that, with the win. I think it was a nice little win. I think it was a nice little movie. I feel like out of any of the years I've known you, this is the year where you've seen most of the Best Picture.
Yes, it's because of Movie Pass.
The only ones you haven't seen are The Post and Phantom Thread, I feel like, are the only Best Picture nominations.
I think so. What else was on?
Call Me By Your Name,
yes.
Dunkirk.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't see Darkest Hour.
No.
Oh, it's so great. Darkest Hour! Everyone shits on Darkest Hour for like being like, oh, it seems like such a boring biopic. Darkest Hour, oh, incredible.
Why can they not promote it though? Even at the clips they'd show at the Oscars tonight, I was like, this really
I know the clips do not make it look good, but like literally the second it started, I was like, oh.
Remember Me won Best Song, which I enjoyed. I think that is a lovely song. Coco is up there with Get Out, with my favorite movie of the year.
All of the songs had like some sort of ensemble, not Remember Me, but I feel like every other song had like an ensemble, like a choir behind them of like very eclectic people from all different backgrounds and everything. And I think we were all sitting there at our Oscar party being like, we just realized none of these background choirs are singing. Like, these are not their real voices.
Right.
These gospel background voices you hear, those are all canned. Like,
I always
they're
think
lying
that.
to us.
Because like none of them have mics on their mouths, none of them are holding mics. It's like, and so you're just like, all that sound I hear is just from the stage.
Unless
like,
they all have like
I don't know.
I don't think Oscars. I think Oscars has a budget, but they put that budget in that beautiful set.
That was a lovely set.
Lovely set design.
Beautiful. Guillermo del Toro seems like a nice guy.
Oh my God, his speech was adorable.
Yes,
I
he
think
seems like a
he
very
might have.
sweet guy.
He might have had the best speech of the night, besides like Francis.
It's just a lot less dramatic this year.
Yeah,
there
wasn't the drama. There wasn't that. There wasn't a scandal. I loved having Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway present again.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
I mean, it was really just like a solid ceremony.
Yeah, it was fine.
I wasn't bored, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best Oscars ever. No. I don't even know what the best Oscars ever was. I would have to like think about that for a little while.
Well, get back to us. And while you're thinking on it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And you can follow us both at 2Gay Matts on Instagram and Facebook as well. And we'll be back soon with a brand new 2Gay Matts.
Bye guys.
Bye.
#inclusion rider.
Yes.
Depost the movie.